crash. New tonight, 3 people are dead after a car crash along Highway 395 near Loon Lake. Officials say a car crossed the center line and collided head-on with a fire truck.
Our Casey Decker has more details on this very tragic news tonight.
The scene was described to me as about as gruesome as these crashes can get. A car hitting a fire truck head-on, creating a ball of flames, killing 3 people, leaving both vehicles destroyed, and 2 firefighters dealing with some serious trauma tonight.
A truck from Stevens County Fire District 1 was driving with its lights and sirens on to an emergency call in Clayton, headed south. A sedan headed north, then entered the southbound road and hit the truck head-on, according to Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer.
At that point of impact, there was a large ball of fire that went up over the cab of the fire apparatus.
The firefighters were injured but not burned, and they quickly escaped their badly damaged truck to try to save the passengers.
What they had to deal with was their own injuries, extinguish the fire, gain enough composure to contact dispatch and add more units, and start, including a helicopter, and start working through the triage model.
Unfortunately, those efforts weren't successful and the helicopter wasn't needed. All 3 passengers died on the scene. State Patrol says at least 2 have been identified as minors.
Their injuries are so devastating that I think it may take a little bit of time just to positively ID everybody, and that's a process that may take a few days.
Even for first responders who have seen an awful lot, this was a particularly horrific tragedy. One described it as the worst he'd ever seen in his decades-long career.
When this happens to any of their community, it is incredibly emotional. When it happens to your own, it is even more emotional.
Meanwhile, miles of the highway were closed for the entire evening. A detour was set up, but a truck tipped over, blocking that too, frustrating many drivers.
And several family members did arrive here on scene over the course of the evening. They went just north of the scene to kind of congregate and work with the chaplain to basically start to try to process all this. A lot of people grieving, a lot of processing to do for both those family members and the firefighters tonight. Reporting south of Loon Lake, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.